I want to make him out like he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
So when I beat him up and then take that other little toy he's got, it just shows what I'm about. So.
Okay. We have learned a lot. Breaking news. Okay. Honestly, the news was yesterday. I couldn't break the news yesterday. You guys know that I'm busy out here with ESBC. But George Kambosos Jr. versus Devin the Dream Haney, June 5th. Look, I have so much to say about this. That fight is going to happen. You see George Kambosos Jr. on Twitter. You see Devin the Dream Haney on Twitter. They're going back and forth now, talking a lot of junk. Great, especially on Devin Haney. Like I said, Devin Haney, I wanted him to really be vicious, okay, talking a lot, all right? Because, look, if he does this right, kind of how Floyd Mayweather, when he had this opportunity against Oscar De La Hoya, and the way he just became Money Mayweather, the way he became the bad guy. If Devin the Dream Haney does this right, he got the fight. A lot of people, you kind of expecting this fight to go a full 12 rounds, right? You're not expecting an action-packed fight, but we'll see, okay? But still, the lead up can be something spectacular. It looks like on Twitter, they're going back and forth. We'll talk about those things in a minute. First, we must give Vasily Lomachenko all the praise in the world. So here's the thing. The reason why now is George Kambosos Jr. versus Devin the Dream Haney, and not George Kambosos Jr. versus Vasily Lomachenko is this. Vasily Lomachenko, it didn't cross my mind. I just never really thought about it. I don't know why. I should have. When Ukraine said, hey, look, what the culture minister, I forget, said, look, Vasily Lomachenko, Alexander Usyk, we're offering you the opportunity to leave to train for your fights, okay? And I thought it was a good idea. I didn't consider Vasily Lomachenko to say, no, I'm going to stand and fight. Wow. That lets you know, that speaks to what Vasily Lomachenko was seeing out there, all right? Right now, that's the fight he sees. He doesn't see anything else. So it just didn't really cross my mind that Vasily Lomachenko would be the one to turn everything down and say, hey, no, I'm going to stand and fight this fight until it's over. All you can do is give Vasily Lomachenko praise for that. He is a true hero, a true soldier, a true warrior, a true inspiration, someone that no one should be disrespecting whatsoever, okay? So Vasily Lomachenko going to do his thing. I'm not sure about Usyk yet. I haven't had the news if Usyk is going to stay or not. George Kambosos Jr., he did say that he respect that. Also, he said that fight, he told the code? I forget. He said that fight with Vasily Lomachenko was done. It was signed, it was done, okay? Vasily Lomachenko said, no, I'm going to stand and fight. Now the gate is open for Devin the Dream Haney. He's going to fight Devin the Dream Haney on June 5th. He said something like, I'm going to take that little trinket of his, whatever he said, something like that. Believing himself to be the undisputed champion with the titles already. But I tell you this fight is for undisputed to clear everything out. So much so, clear everything up, I'm sorry. So much so that Devin the Dream Haney, you guys know that he mentioned before that if and when he beats George Kambosos Jr., he's going to deactivate the franchise title. What? Well, that's not that surprising. That's not something, he's been speaking against the franchise title. On top of that, Canelo Alvarez, he deactivated the title. Canelo Alvarez didn't use the franchise title when he moved up to 168, which you can. He didn't. He hasn't been fighting with the franchise title, even going up to light heavyweight. He's not holding a franchise title. He deactivated it. Okay, so I think Estrada right now, he holds the franchise title. Whoever wins would have to do something. From my understanding, the rules go, you can't hold the franchise title and the regular WBC title. Now, I want to say this too. All in all, George Kambosos Jr. shocked the hell out of me. George Kambosos, it was really, I'm sorry to any George Kambosos fan, I thought George Kambosos was going to duck Devin Haney. I don't think him fighting Lomachenko was ducking Devin Haney at all. But I do think Devin Haney was the one, and I've been saying this consistently, that he was the most deserving for that fight against George Kambosos. Why? Why? In the same breath, the same reason that Dillian the Body Snatcher White is deserving to fight Tyson Gypsy King Fury for the WBC title. Devin the Dream Haney fight and earned the WBC interim title. This guy's the next one in line. Period. Franchise title or no. WBC upgrade or no. Devin the Dream Haney, he is the guy deserving of this fight. I thought George Kambosos, if he didn't get Lomachenko, I thought he was going to sign some 2-fight deal with Ryan Garcia. He fight, a punching bag out there in Australia. And then as Ryan Garcia, he fights Tago, and then they fight each other, right, in Australia. That's what I thought, okay? But no, George Kambosos Jr., he's a real one. Got to give him all the credit in the world. Now, when it comes to them two beefing with each other on Twitter, George Kambosos already sinking his teeth in. Talking about, hey, man, that's a long flight to Australia, Devin Haney. He said it's 19 hours. Be prepared. Devin, the Dream Haney said, you want to know how long the fight is? As long as my... Oh, that's good talk, Devin Haney, right? Nobody want to know how long your is. But I like the attitude. I like what he's coming with as far as the attitude. I like that. Mike Tyson was talking about that. How do I feel about the fight, the outcome? Well, I've often said that I think Devin Haney versus George Kambosos would be a boring fight. And I've often said that I think that Devin the Dream Haney would beat George Kambosos. All right? I still think Devin the Dream Haney would beat George Kambosos. George Kambosos, to me, I am still questioning if he's special. To me, he's the same George Kambosos. Not bad, very good fighter. Great fighter? I don't know. We'll see, though. Devin the Dream Haney, fighting Linares, fighting Jojo Diaz, and now George Kambosos, good work. Okay? We know Haney, he has a lot of fights. Now, this fight can be a busy fight. If you get enough emotions going, and I know George Kambosos want Devin the Dream Haney to fight outside of this style, and he may just have to. Why? Because the fight's going to be in Australia. And if those judges aren't fighting with headphones on, the crowd's going to go crazy every time George Kambosos lands a punch. Even if he breathes, even if he misses, the Australian crowd's going to go crazy. Give Devin the Dream Haney all the love in the world to travel to become undisputed. In conclusion, I want to say this. My prediction, let me give this a real thought. George Kambosos, he has a lot of speed. I have written him off as far as I think he'll lose to Lomachenko, and I think he'll lose against Devin Haney. I've been saying that. But George Kambosos, he's talking with a lot of confidence. I don't think either one is going to hurt each other. Devin the Dream Haney, footwork is just too good. His chin, okay. George Kambosos he has power, but he doesn't have knockout power. He has good power. He got pop. How about that? You saw him pop Teofimo Lopez and drop Teofimo Lopez. It's going to be speed versus speed. A lot of George Kambosos may just be aggressive. And here's another thing I want to say. When you have two guys like Devin the Dream Haney and George Kambosos who really believe in themselves, they're going to try to show that they are really the best fighter, best lightweights in the world. They're both going into it with the mindset of, I'm the real champion. That can bring some excitement. Let's hope this is a very exciting fight. I'm looking forward to the lead up, but I think boxing wins here because like I was saying, George Kambosos versus Devin the Dream Haney was the right fight. It was an integrity move. And the boxing gods found this way to make Devin the Dream Haney versus George Kambosos. Before I go, just shout out to Vasily Lomachenko, being the warrior that he is. Much love to the Ukrainian people. Showbiz, adult. Now it's time for me to fight on ESBC and whoop some murderers. I'm out.